All right, I think we're live. I'm trying to figure out how to do this on my phone. Oh man. Can I go the other way here? I don't think so. All right. Yeah, I think we're live, right? Are we live here? I don't know. Um I can't tell. Can I not do my different landscape here? All right, what's up, Lester? How we doing? What's up, Infinite Crew? What's up, Jared? Okay, so we are live. That's good. That's good. Yeah, we're gonna be reacting to the trade here. I'm gonna be giving you guys my full thoughts. I had a reason why I can't or I wasn't able to do anything last night was because I was at a concert here in Colorado. So I'm here in like a hotel room in Denver. I was at a Red Rocks concert, and of course, Friday night this trade goes down. Yeah, hopefully everything sounds good. Hopefully everything sounds good. What's going on, everybody? You guys can let me know in the chat. What's up, Ethan? What's up, Mateo? What's up, Ty? What's up, Ryan? How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? Like, oh man, I got so many thoughts. You guys probably saw me kind of, or you guys saw me on Twitter, maybe if you guys follow me over there talking about this trade. We got over 100 people in here already. Thank you guys for coming out. I'm just going to give my thoughts for the next like 15, 20 minutes on this trade. It is probably one of the most random trades we have ever seen, honestly. The Knicks traded away Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, I believe Daquan Jeffries, and Keita Bates-Diop to match the salary, and a Detroit lottery-protected pick in the future, which I don't really think is going to ever be a valuable pick because if so, the Pistons need to not make the playoffs or need to make the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen next year, and then you won't get that pick. So that's going to Minnesota. Karl-Anthony Towns is going to the Knicks. Kind of the craziest trade we've seen in the last year for the Knicks, and we've seen two big ones. We saw Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett, get traded for OG Anunoby, and then we saw this most recent one, Mikal Bridges, get traded to the Knicks for all the draft picks for Bojan Bogdanovic and nothing really else too much in that trade. So the Knicks had a big man issue. Of course, they were thin there because Isaiah Hartenstein goes to the Thunder. Mitchell Robinson just suffered an injury, so they're left with Mitchell Robinson, who's not going to play till December, January. Maybe they have this trade is a good indication that it's probably going to be January that Mitchell Robinson is coming back. And Jericho Sims, Precious Achiuwa, and Julius Randle, small ball 5. And Tibbs was just asked the other day, like, is Randle healthy? He goes, I think so. So maybe Julius Randle wasn't even going to be healthy to start off the year. And it's kind of, I don't know. I kind of hate the trade still. I don't think it's worth it. I mean, I tweeted so much out last night, like at this concert too, right? So I'm here at this concert, this trade goes down, and I'm like, why would you break up the Nova Knicks? You just got Mikal Bridges. Let's see him with Hart. Let's see him with Brunson and DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo's gone. The Knicks are going to massively miss one of the best contracts in the league, one of the best three-point shooters in the league, who broke out last year in a larger role, and he's only going to continue to get better and better. He had a major injury earlier in his career, and now that he's fully healthy and he's turned into an elite shooter, man, that is going to stink trading him away. Apparently, yeah, I saw that Apple fanboy that Dante didn't like the idea of coming off the bench. He came off the bench to start off last year, and I don't see why he'd be opposed to coming off the bench, but he's still going to play 30 minutes a night. He's still going to play at least 28 minutes. And the odds that this Knicks starting 5 that was projected was going to be healthy the whole year, very low. They were going to get hurt, and he was going to, I think, be a starter. So they trade Dante, and then you trade Julius Randle, which is a shame because Randle has been here since day one of this rebuild. They whiff on KD and Kyrie back in 2019. You pick up Julius Randle in free agency in 2019, and then Randle is someone that ends up becoming a 3-time All-Star with you. 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA member, and kind of was like, I don't know, I now have a soft spot for Randle. There was times earlier in the Knicks tenure where I just disliked watching Randle as the number 1. And they trade him to Minnesota. And I can't even think of a Timberwolves fan, if you're a Timberwolves fan in the chat, trading away Karl-Anthony Towns, who was drafted back in 2015. Ironic enough, the Knicks were trying to tank for Cat. They lost a meaningless game towards the end of the year. That meant Minnesota had the worst record. They had the best chance in the lottery, and they get Cat. And Cat's been there since. Cat never requested a trade in 9 years. He didn't request a trade now. And I think this is really risky for both teams. For the Knicks, at least Cat is under contract. It is a gross contract. I'm still not a huge fan of it. Now, I don't think it's as bad as like a Levine contract or Bradley Beal, but he's owed some money. He is. And Randle was going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Maybe there was no chance that Randle was going to make or ask for less than like $40 million a year. And then you're like, all right, do we want to pay Randle $40 million a year? Like pulling up Cat's contract, $49 million this year, $53 million in 26, $57 million in 2028, and $61 million player option in 2029. The good thing about Cat is he's 28 years old. He's going to be 29 around when the season starts, so you're going to get him for probably the last good years of his career. He's been a 20-point per game scorer throughout his whole career. He's shot 40% from three. He's like, this floor spacing is going to be amazing. And Cat is not a bad rim protector by any means. Like, he can guard the paint. He's not as good as Rudy Gobert was, but yeah, Cat. Man, yeah, no, Cat was not good in the playoffs. They were a lot better with Cat off the floor. He was very inconsistent. He comes here to New York to now be definitely the number 2 scoring option. This is the biggest name the Knicks have traded for in quite some time. Like, he's a bigger name than Mikal Bridges. He's a bigger name than OG Anunoby. And yeah, this trade makes no sense. I'm sure you guys have already kind of read a lot about it. I just kind of wanted to talk about it here. I'll kind of read some of your guys' comments. Peyton Dickerson says Tibbs and Cat just do not work in my head. Yeah, they were together in Minnesota, and that's with the whole Jimmy Butler thing that just didn't work out. I kind of like it for the Wolves. Well, the Wolves are taking on some risk for sure because Rudy Gobert has a player option at the end of the year, and so does Julius Randle. So there's a chance they lose them both. I just think getting Dante DiVincenzo is huge for them. And now this bench is arguably one of the best benches in basketball because it's funny because Dante didn't want to come off the bench in New York. He's coming off the bench in Minnesota. Like, you're going to have Conley, Ant, McDaniels, Randle, Gobert. Oh, God. Randle and Gobert could be interesting as a front court duo, man. There's going to be... This is such a random trade. This is like literally a 2K generated trade. We say 2K is not realistic. This is a 2K trade. Oh, man. Yeah, so, I don't know. DiVincenzo comes off the bench with Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Naz Reid, who just won 6th Man of the Year, Terrence Shannon, Rob Dillingham. That's a fun bench. That really is a good bench unit for sure. And I think Minnesota gets better with this trade. But I don't think by a lot. And it also could hurt team chemistry. I don't know. Like, Randall's getting thrown in there. DiVincenzo, I think, is a glue guy. He can fit anywhere. Hopefully it works out for the Knicks, man, because I don't know. I really wanted them to win it all with the core they had of the Nova guys, with Mitch, and then with Randle. But now you're throwing in Cat. Like, does this give them a better chance? Yeah, probably. Cat's better than Julius Randle. Celtics are still better. I agree, Derek, but now you have a closing lineup that's a definite. Brunson at the 1, probably Josh Hart at the 2, right? And then you're going to go, oh, God, yeah, you're going to go Josh Hart at the 2. You're going to go Mikal at the 3, OG at the 4, and then you're going to go Cat at the 5. I guess Mitchell Robinson and Cat can coexist. Like, they saw it work out with Gobert and Cat. I mean, they were a top seed in the Western Conference with that front court. Obviously, it helps having Anthony Edwards, but the Knicks have Jalen Brunson. So you add in Cat and Mitchell Robinson. I don't know, man. This trade is interesting. ESPN has Josh Hart at the 4. Yeah, Josh could be the 4. That's fine. Josh Hart at the 4. Mikal Bridges at the 2. OG Anunoby at the 3. Oh, my God, man. I just don't think this trade needed to happen. I just wonder if it needed to happen now. Apparently, Minnesota wasn't really interested in a Randle for Cat swap until Dante DiVincenzo was brought to the table, and the Knicks were realistically okay with trading him. So that ended up happening. Sorry. But yeah, my God, man. I can't believe this trade happened. So I'm kind of at a loss for words. Like, man, yeah. Jerry says Edward at point, Dante at the shooting guard, Randle at the 3, Naz at the 4, Gobert at the 5. That's an interesting lineup for sure. But I think you're going to lose a little bit of defense having McDaniels off the floor, but you're having Gobert. The Brunson Cat pick and roll, pick and pop is going to be great. I know, I do agree. I don't know. We haven't seen Cat show up in the playoffs in limited sample size. We haven't seen Julius Randle show up in the playoffs in limited sample size. So I agree. Like, this isn't really going to make too much of a difference, I think. And Cat is, like, Randle has been a good shooter. It's been streaky, but Cat is way more efficient. He's way better in catch and shoot. He's way better off the dribble. And he is the best shooting big man in the league, pretty much. Like, it's him, Kristaps Porzingis, maybe Chet Holmgren. We'll see how elite he is. But, yeah, Cat is probably the best shooting big man in the league. Do I think Brunson will win an award? I don't think he's going to win MVP this year. I don't know if adding Cat changes that at all. I think the Knicks, like, I'll spoil, but like, I had them second in my regular season predictions for the 2 seed, but I was going back and forth on it. I do think the Knicks, like, pre-trade, I thought could have actually been not disappointing, but a little lower expectations for the regular season. Could have been around the 4 or 5 seed, but I had them at 2. They're probably still the best team to go up against Boston. I mean, the Knicks have a really good closing 5. If it's Cat at the 5, OG at the 4, or Josh Hart, and then you have Bridges and Brunson. That's good. That's a really good team, man. That really is. That is a good role player in Hart. I hope Cat is able to buy into the system because the thing I'm going to miss most about DiVincenzo, he crashes the offensive glass. He crashes the defensive glass. He plays tough. He plays with grit, and he wants to win. I think Cat has that same mentality, but I don't know if it's going to be the same. And I think he can have a more team environment. Like at times Randle, when he's not shooting well, he's not really trying to get his teammates involved. He's trying to get out of his slump, and I feel like you could see the body language, and I think Cat is better. Now, I've watched a lot more Julius Randle than I've watched Cat over the last couple of years, but man, I just keep going back to like, why did this need to happen? Why did this need to happen? The Knicks even traded away another future draft pick. Didn't think it was going to be much. The Nets have all their draft picks. The Knicks really are going all in with this team, and it scares the living crap out of me because if you do not win at all, and it is so hard to win in the National Basketball Association, we have seen a different champion every year. So for the last 5 years, 6 years. So maybe this is the time that they can do it. Maybe this is the time of parity that the league's actually open. But if they do not win with this window, I am terrified of this team's future because Brunson is going to be 30 before you know it. Cat's going to be 30 before you know it. They have no draft picks basically after or like till 2030, they're going to be probably a second apron team because Hart's contract is $19 million. Brunson's going to be making a decent amount of money. Cat's making a crap ton of money. OG's making almost as much as Karl Anthony Towns. Thank God of the Miles McBride extension. And then I also look at the Knicks bench. I thought they had an elite bench too with Josh Hart and DiVincenzo and McBride at the helm. But now it's Miles McBride is your sixth man. Yeah. Miles McBride, we'll say, yeah, Mitchell Robinson's coming off the bench. We'll just say that for now. Like, that's okay. And then you have Landry Shamet, Tyler Kolek, Precious Achiuwa, Marcus Morris. This campaign, it's not great. It's not a great bench whatsoever. And I don't think Cat's a bad defender now. Cat is, I think it's a bad rap defensively. I think he's fine. I think he's fine defensively. Peyton, with the CBA, I think that the huge contracts on long years is the meta, second apron or not. Everyone has to work around the margins, and you don't have to because your roster is set for years. I agree. The Knicks do have their roster in set, which is great. But also, I mean, for the Celtics last year, they had kind of continuity with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum over the years and Derek White, and they had their chemistry. I don't know. Are they going to need more than 1 year, the Knicks, with Karl Anthony Towns? Potentially. Oh, God, man. Quinston says the Knicks are winning the championship. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if I feel better about my championship, like optimism or worse after this trade. I just feel like the chemistry is kind of done, and I feel bad. I feel bad with this team. Raptors will sweep the Knicks. Okay. No. I don't think the Raptors are making the playoffs. Yeah, I'm going to miss Dante a lot, too. Dante, that one kind of hurts, I think, more than Randle, honestly. But I know Randle's been here for a while, and the Knicks were always in talks for Karl Anthony Towns, and it never made sense that it was going to be Cat and Randle after they got OG Anunoby and extended him, and they got Mikal Bridges and they extended him. Wow. I can't believe Minnesota made this trade, honestly. Like, I guess Gobert and extensions on the rise or on the horizon. How does Ant feel about that? I don't know. Free Wrench says, my opinion, I think the Celtics will wipe the Knicks, but I think it'll be a good series if they match up. Yeah. Wipe the Knicks. I mean, that's not good if the Knicks are going all in here. They were in the Western Conference Finals. Why? I agree. Why? I actually predicted them to go back to the Western Conference Finals. I think I'm a little bit off. I don't know. The Timberwolves bench is arguably the best bench in basketball. Like, having, we'll say DiVincenzo's off the bench, and then you, like, Nasri, DiVincenzo, Rob Dillingham, Terrence Shannon Jr., that is such a good bench. That's like rivaling the Thunder. Maybe the Timberwolves are like, we value the depth here. Are they going to pay Randle what Cat just made? If Randle makes it all, well, I don't think Randle can get the Supermax because now he's gotten traded. I think maybe if he'd be eligible if he got it with the Knicks, like on an All-NBA team. Again, I don't know, but he probably could have got the most amount of money from the Knicks. A lot of other Mavs fans are happy too. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, Cat wasn't great in the playoffs. Like, I'll pull up Cat's playoff numbers. He was not good, if I remember, in that conference finals series. He was, yeah, oh my God. Cat shot 37% from the field, 24% from three in the conference finals. He averaged 19 points and 8 rebounds. He was fine against Phoenix and against Denver. But I did read that they were better with him off the floor, actually, and per like 100 possessions, because I don't think he was good defensively in the playoffs. Naz Reid will start in the playoffs. I mean, that's potentially a thing. Wolves flipping Randle for KD. I don't think that's going to happen. But KD and Ant would be pretty sick together. Can I rebuild the T-Wolves? Yeah, I'll be doing rebuilds. Unfortunately, I'm not flying back to Philadelphia until Monday. So you guys maybe will get a Monday night rebuild for the Knicks or for the Timberwolves. And then whatever one I don't do Monday, you will get on probably Tuesday or Wednesday, honestly. But you guys are getting videos today, tomorrow on both channels here on SROS and Six Rings of Steel. You guys are getting Pistons rebuild, Ben Simmons like career sim on the Six Rings of Steel channel, and then here you guys are getting every team's most likely Hall of Famer, which I think is going to be out today, and then every team's all-time Mount Rushmore is going to be out tomorrow. Can I do another Raptors rebuild? Yeah, that will happen. Is Randle a good defender? I don't think Randle's a bad defender, but I wouldn't say he's a good defender. I think he's physical enough inside, and he does a good job on the defensive glass. And that's why I thought the Knicks could have rolled out a small ball 5 lineup with him there, because I thought he could play the center spot, but I guess not, man. I guess not. Knicks are going to cook next year. I don't know. I feel like everybody's indifferent about this trade. Like, I go on Twitter, and I'm like, can you guys, like, make me feel optimistic, because I don't like this trade, and a lot of people are saying that this trade does make the Knicks better. I think for me as a Knicks fan, I'm gonna get in my own head about this trade for sure. And yeah, for Randle, I mean, Gobert and for Minnesota, yeah, Gobert and Randle are free agents next year. Are Thunder still the favorites? Yeah, 100% in my opinion. Can I do a Hawks rebuild? Yeah, I'll definitely be doing a Hawks rebuild sooner than later. Randle and Gobert are the new big two on Shaq in a fool. Now, dude, Randle, I don't want Randle to get disrespect. Randle's a good player. Is he as good as Karl Anthony Towns? No, but I think he's fairly close to Cat. I actually think I had Randle rated higher than Cat in my player rankings. I kind of view them differently now on different teams. I think the Knicks will be able to utilize Cat and him playing with OG Anunoby. I think it's going to be great for Cat in the front court. But we're going to see Cat go back to the center spot, something we haven't seen from him since they traded for Gobert. So it's been 2 years. Yeah, so it's been a minute. You see the positives and negatives of both, as he says. Yeah, I don't know. For financial reasons, the Knicks are going to get very expensive. They're going to get very expensive. I just can't believe this trade happened. I still can't. It's one of the more shocking trades we have seen since maybe Kevin Durant to the Suns. But KD wanted out then. This is a pretty notable trade. And the Knicks made the 2 biggest trades this offseason, trading for Cat, trading for Bridges. Oh, my God, man. The chemistry. This is such a new group together. It's such a new group. RIP the Nova Knicks. Yeah, now they just have 3. I guess DiVincenzo maybe is fine. Like, I'm sure they talked to Brunson about this trade, and they're like, are you cool making it? And I'm sure he was like, okay. I mean, I wonder if DiVincenzo kind of felt like an outsider. I don't know. The Knicks did that thing in New York City with Hart and Brunson and Mikal Bridges, and maybe he just felt like an odd man out, so he didn't really care about the Nova Knicks. Wow, I don't know, man. I'm going to miss Dante DiVincenzo. That 1 year with the Knicks, man, that shot against Philly was the biggest Knicks shot in 2 decades. And he is now off the team. And he's on one of the best contracts in the league, man. He's owed like 15. He's making less than Terrence Mann. And he is so much better than Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann just got, like 16, 17 million from the Clippers. DiVincenzo is making like 15 million a year for the next 3 years. And in today's NBA, that is a steal of a contract. Who backs up Hart? Marcus Morris, Precious Achiuwa, Miles McBride. It's not great. It's not great. The Knicks bench is not great. Well, the Knicks re-signed Cat. They don't have to worry about that. He's not a free agent until 2028, 2027, so they don't have to worry about re-signing Cat. I don't know. I guess we got to see how the next 4 years go. Don't you think Minnesota's lacking spacing? Yeah, but Randle can be a really good shooter, and if you have a lineup of like Ant and DiVincenzo in the backcourt, and then you have McDaniels, if he can go back to still being, I think, a really good three-point shooter, Naz Reid. I think they have so many lineup variations that they're going to be fine floor spacing-wise. Randle shot 31% from 3 last year, but it was really because of a terrible start. Like, he shot 41% from 3 in 2021. He shot 34% from 3 in 2023. So maybe he's an odd-year guy. Now in 2025, he's going to be a good three-point shooter. Yeah, the Wolves, do you think we flip Randle? I mean, maybe if it's just not working by the deadline, maybe Randle gets flipped, but Randle could be a free agent at the end of the year. So if they actually can't find, I don't know. If Randle does not work out in Minnesota, I could see them not really getting equal value because he's a free agent at the end of the year. So I don't think he gets traded. I think since he just got traded, I wonder if he can get traded again. I assume so because I think it's like a 6-month rule. I mean, February is I don't know. That's actually going to be interesting to see if they can even move Randle if it doesn't work out. Tibbs is going to run a six-man lineup the entire year. Pretty much, yeah. Everybody's going to be playing 40 minutes a night. So the Knicks, if they get an injury, if Mikal gets hurt, if Brunson gets hurt, if Cat gets hurt, this team is losing depth. They're not going to lose, like, high-end talent. Like, they're going to lose high-end talent. They're going to still have high-end talent if somebody gets hurt. But that's going to be brutal. What do I think of Mike Conley? Still a really good point guard, still a really good three-point shooter. I think a solid defender, but he's getting older. You don't know when that regression year is going to come, and maybe that's going to come this year. Who knows? And that's a little scary. DiVincenzo off the bench, yeah. Cat got benched in the playoffs. His defense is bad. Yeah, he was not good defensively in that conference finals. And nor was he good offensively either. Is DiVincenzo going to start for the Wolves? I don't think so. I think it's going to be Conley and Ant, McDaniels, Randle, Gobert. Wolves or Lakers? Still Wolves. I mean, I still think the Wolves are a top 4 team in the West. I don't know. I like Dallas over them, and I still think I'm going to stand beside that. I don't know. The West is really close. Like, I think OKC is a clear 1, and then I think it's your mixture of Denver, Minnesota, Dallas. I think a lot of people are going to have Denver at the bottom of those 3 teams. Yeah. Joshua, the rebuilds. I mean, there's these for this trade. It's not going to come out till Monday or Tuesday. Ariel Hukporti playing time probably for the Knicks. Yeah, we're getting to Ariel Hukporti playing time. What if Ant wants out? No, I don't think Ant's going to want out because he seems like he's a Minnesota guy. Celtics are going to target Cat in the playoffs if they match up. Yeah, I could definitely see that for sure. And if they switch and Cat's got to guard Tatum, we're screwed. But I also don't think, I don't know, like maybe it's going to be fine if he's playing next to Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, who both of those guys can be on an all-defensive team. And Mitchell Robinson is a good defender as well. So there's good defenders on the Knicks. And Josh Hart's a good defender. Oh, man. Like, DiVincenzo struggled at times in the playoffs, but he was really good for them at times. Oh, man. I'm going to miss Dante. I really am. Noah's a better defender than Dante. Yeah, I agree. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was really good as a defender last year. By the way, for the Pistons pick, yeah, it's top 14 protected, and then it turns into second rounder. So that pick will never really be much value. Why do I think they'll start Jaden McDaniels over DiVincenzo? Homegrown guy, making more money, and I think just McDaniels is too good of a defender to not have in that lineup. I'd be shocked if they rolled McDaniels off the bench. Unless they get off to like an 8-8 start, and it's a little disappointing that maybe Chris Finch goes with that adjustment to put DiVincenzo in the starting 5, but I don't think DiVincenzo's going to start. How sad am I to never see the Nova Knicks? I'm going to be kind of sad, honestly. I thought it was going to be really cool to have those guys together. The contracts are just getting out of hand. Yeah, right. I don't know. This is, like I said, just one of the more random trades we've seen. 2027 is top 4 protected, so the Wolves might actually get it. Okay. All right. So then the Wolves probably will get that then. It's funny that the Knicks trade to the Bucks. They traded the Bucks pick in that Mikal Bridges trade. That pick actually, if it's in the top 5, the Nets get it. They need the Bucks to be a bottom 5 team this year. And if not, the Pelicans get it. So that pick is kind of worthless, honestly. I didn't know that protection was that bad. Yeah, I could see I could see the top 5 seeds in the West all winning 50-plus games this year. The West is stacked. The West is stacked. I mean, after this trade, didn't really make much of a difference. The Western Conference is stacked. Who's Brunson's backup? Miles McBride, who is a good player. I think he struggles as a lead ball handler. They did draft Tyler Kolek in the second round, who I think can play out of the gate, and hopefully he's impressed the Knicks staff enough that they were comfortable not having as much depth after this trade, and Tyler Kolek could be the backup point guard for them and initiate this offense when Brunson isn't in. But the Knicks need to stay healthy this year, which is not, I don't know, man. They were so banged up in the playoffs. We'll see. Yeah, the Knicks were in need of a center, and they got freaking Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, that is an upgrade over Randle. If they somehow turned Randle and salary filler to Cat, that would have been amazing. That wouldn't have been possible, though. They had to include DiVincenzo or Hart. I would have maybe been a little bit more happy if it was Randle and Mitchell Robinson for Cat. And you that I would be fine with, because I think Hart and OG could be the power forwards for you. And then you'd have Precious Achiuwa, Sims, the backup centers to Cat. I would have liked that. And then you still have DiVincenzo, and the Nova Knicks are in full effect. I really wish they made that trade. Can the Knicks trade Mitchell Robinson for DiVincenzo now? I'm sure the Knicks tried that, but I feel like Minnesota did not want Mitchell Robinson, because you have Gobert, you have Naz Reid, who is also a free agent at the end of this year. Oh my God, this Timberwolves team could look a little bit different with Gobert, Naz Reid, and Randle all being free agents at the end of the year. Yeah, Joshua, I agree. Like, DiVincenzo's gonna have this, I think, the same role in Minnesota. Timberwolves over roster spots, moves for both teams. I think Charlotte's getting involved a little bit. I think Charlotte's taking on some salary. I think they're taking Daquan Jeffries in that trade as well. I think people underrate Dante a lot. I agree. Dante DiVincenzo is a really good, I think he can win Sixth Man of the Year. I think he's a really good player overall in this league. He's an elite shooter. He's elite off the dribble. He's elite coming off screens. And he's quick. He attacks the glass. He's an underrated rebounder. And he tries his ass off defensively. He does. That spacing is going to be bad in Minnesota. Yeah, people are worried about Minnesota's spacing for sure. I mean, the Knicks spacing is elite. Nas is getting money for sure. Yeah, Nas is going to get paid by the Timberwolves. Dante played better than Cat in the playoffs. That's a factual statement for sure. Why are the owners of the Wolves so damn cheap? I mean, you can look at it like that. I don't think the Knicks wanted Gobert. Maybe they offered the same package, but Gobert instead of Cat. I don't even know though why. I don't know why Minnesota did this trade. I could see it for the Knicks, but because Randle's a free agent at the end of the year, you're locking in Cat at this price. He's a better player than Randle right now. In this Knicks offense, but I just keep going back to why did these teams make this trade? It made no freaking sense. Will I be going to more Knicks games? I go to like 2 to 3 a year, and always I'll go when they're in Philadelphia. This 4 years, 120 sound realistic for Nas. Dude, that's so much money, but maybe if he has another Sixth Man of the Year caliber season, he's gonna get $30 million a year in today's league. Cat is not worth 60 mil. I agree, but how many players are worth 60 mil? Maybe the top 10 guys in this league. But I agree, Cat's not worth 60 mil. Is he worth 45 mil? Yeah. So he's overpaid, sure. But he's still a really good player. He's still the best shooting big man in the league. And the pick and roll with him and Brunson should be very lethal. It's going to be so weird just to see Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns in Knicks jerseys. Like, what? Who would have thought this? I mean, Mikal made sense, right? For obvious reasons. But Karl Anthony Towns just does not make sense. Randle can play bully ball, which the Timberwolves didn't have. And in the West, you kind of need that physicality. I agree, Nate. Randle does play bully ball for sure. He plays, I think, just as physical as anybody in this league. And that's kind of go back to it. I thought he could play the small ball 5 for the Knicks. And yeah, him and Gobert is going to be an interesting fit in that front court. It really is. Cat in orange feels wrong. I know, right? Like, he goes from Kentucky to Minnesota. That's all we know him as. And now he's going to be a Knick. Cat is now the Knicks' best player now. Jalen Brunson's better than Cat. Hopefully, Mikal Bridges can go back to what we thought he could be in Brooklyn last year. And then they could maybe be okay. Any owners make this trade, to be honest? I guess so. It's 2K's dream, honestly. Are we in a simulation? I think so. Who do I think won the trade? If I had to give a winner and a loser, oh, God. If I had to give a winner and a loser, I don't even know. I think I would go maybe the Knicks slightly win because Randle could leave in the offseason for nothing and you're getting Cat. But the bench gets so much worse. For Minnesota, if Randle was locked up, I would be okay with it. And if Reed and Gobert weren't petting free agents as well, that's just a scary sight. I don't know who won this trade. I think it's pretty, like, just net neutral for both teams. I don't think it's a positive or negative. I mean, I think for chemistry, it could be worse for Minnesota, like trading away Cat, who's been there since 2015. It could be a negative chemistry-wise if Dante didn't want to get traded, and that hurts the Knicks, the Nova Knicks. For sure. And I feel like Dante embraced the city and like same with Julius Randle. And the Knicks were the laughing stock of the NBA when Randle signed with them. OG's now the 4th option. Yeah. He was before the trade as well. I mean, OG as your 4th option is freaking fantastic though. Like having Brunson, Cat, Bridges, then OG. Oh my God. That's a good team, man. That's a good 1 through 4. That's as good as the 1 through. I think that's the second best 1 through 4 in all of basketball. Like that being your top 4. I think Boston has the best 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the Knicks are number 2. Philly's got a good 1 to 4. Milwaukee's okay, like is good as well, but I think the Knicks have the second best 1 to 4. Like OG Anunoby is probably the best 4th option in this league outside of Kristaps Porzingis in Milwaukee, or excuse me, in Boston. Yeah, I think Knicks and Boston are the top 2 teams here in the East. Randle off the bench, who's winning against the Bulls bench. I mean, Randle off the bench would be elite, but he's not coming off the bench. Plus, you got McBride, too. He's a stud. McBride's a good shooter. The Thunder. I mean, the Thunder's 1 through 4 is what? Shea, Chet, J-Dub, and Caruso, Hartenstein. That is really good. I think the Knicks is better. The Cavs have a really good 1 through 4 as well, but do they work together? I think Mobley and Allen's fit, like, overall in that 1 through 4 drop because they got to play together. Yeah. I don't know. Was DiVincenzo unhappy? Like, where have we heard that? From an accurate source? Have we heard it from Ian Begley or any, like, notable Timberwolves reporter? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. And yeah, KDB I think was in that trade as well. Oh God, we're really gonna have to watch I don't know if Marcus Morris is gonna make this team, but we're gonna have to watch Campaign, Landry Shamet. Oh God, Pacome Yet. I forget he's on this team at times. Oh my God. You think there's a world where Nas starts and Randle? I don't think so. I think they're gonna keep Nas as the sixth man. I think he's fine in that role, and I think Randle would be pretty upset coming off the bench. Nova Knicks would have been more fun, but this is a good trade. Yeah, I mean, I gotta stop being kind of biased and too invested emotionally in that team because this is probably a good trade for the Knicks. Do I mean Terry Johnson? Yes, I meant Terry Johnson. Thoughts on the Clippers? I'm kind of scared for you guys this year. I don't think the Clippers make the playoffs, and they don't own their first round pick. Hopefully that pick doesn't become good in the lottery because then you're going to lose out on giving away like a Cooper Flagg or an Ace Bailey or Dylan Harper. But I think the Clippers are going to be in a good spot financially to make a big move next offseason. I still feel like the Knicks are one trade away from a perfect team. Maybe that's where Mitchell Robinson's contract comes into play at the deadline for sure. But they don't have draft picks, and they need to stop trading draft picks because their draft pick capital was very nice at the beginning of the offseason, and they depleted it this offseason. Thoughts on your Hawks? I think you guys are going to be a playing tournament team, and that's fine. I think you just want to see the year four, another jump from Jalen Johnson and see what you can get out of either Buffkin or Daniels this year. And I'm excited for Reese Heshe. I think my Nets will get the number one pick for Cooper. I think you guys will be the worst team in the league, but I don't know about the lottery. If you guys could drop a like on the stream too, I'd be appreciative of that because I'm going to end the stream very soon. I've been talking to you guys for 31 minutes about this trade. Still can't believe it happened. Still can't believe it happened. It happened on a Friday night. Why couldn't this happen on like a Tuesday afternoon? Why did it happen on a Friday night? Ugh. Well, all right. Well, thank you guys all for liking the stream. I appreciate it. Thank you guys all for coming out and talking. This was super fun. I had to get all my thoughts and opinions off my chest about this deal because I still can't believe it happened. Yeah, and if you guys can just subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. You guys are going to get videos on SROS and Six Rings of Steel today and tomorrow. None are related to this trade. That content will come Monday and Tuesday. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.